This week's episode of the Metro Hockey Report was brought to you by Allstate. If you need auto, home, business, or life insurance, call Allstate. You're in good hands.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of the MHR. I'm Mark Miller.
I'm Todd Smith.
Tonight is May 22nd and here's what's on tap. We are going to have Jamie Housecroft on, former National Hockey League player, Sonics guy Chris Brennan. And we will also be discussing viewer questions and the like.
Don't forget, we've had some news come down today with coaching changes around the league, and of course we are still in the midst of playoff season. So
I turned that front upside down. It's back to normal. Like I said, if Vigneault was gone, I would. I got rid of all the rest of the Connect stuff. I know a lot of viewers had made comments about that. So there you go. There's my one. But thank God! I'm just so glad he got fired.
I wore my Canucks jersey tonight in honor of AV's departure.
I'm loving that. That is awesome. It was a great move.
Like I've told you guys before, once we get our team here in Seattle, all teams pale in comparison. But until then, I'm kind of a nomad, and my closet is a tour around the National Hockey League. Although you will never see Blackhawks or Red Wings in my closet.
Which is a good
never,
thing.
ever see those. Just saying.
It was so nice seeing him get canned today. It was, the only thing that would have brightened my day more in that way would have been if Mr. Gillis was fired. I'm so glad Vigneault's gone. That was one half of the equation. I'd get rid of Gillis because that Luongo thing drug on too long last year. It was disgusting the way they treated him. Yeah, and it's still going on. It's still going on. They dug their own hole. Now it's time to, reap the whirlwind in that way.
Well, the only cautionary tale I would have is grass isn't always greener. The ice isn't always fresher over on the other side. AV had a lot of success in the regular season. Didn't necessarily translate to postseason success.
He was Marty Schottenheimer, except he went to a championship game.
True. Yeah, you got that. But hopefully things will turn out well. They will put a new head coach in place, and
Lindy Ruff.
With the talent they've got,
yeah,
they should be able to make it farther than what they have.
They're gonna have to retool that whole team though. That's just it's gonna be gutted. I have a feeling.
They need to dump some of those high salary contracts. They need more flexibility. They need to get
tougher. They need to get guys who actually can score goals. Like, for instance, Zach Cassian was a stupid trade for Cody Hodgson. That's another one of Gillis. That's why I want him gone. Just reasons like that. He kept Luongo and Schneider basically hanging on, at the end. They got rid of guys like Cody Hodgson. They lost their toughness to play finesse, but then they tried to play defense and they couldn't score goals. That's how they...
To me, they were a team without an identity.
Yeah, that's what it is right there.
And they tried to do both. They tried to be a powerhouse, rough and tumble team while playing finesse hockey at the same time. And you can't have both of those, at least in my opinion. I think you need to make a commitment to one or the other.
You
need speed and finesse, or you need to be able to body up, man up, and grind it out.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're going to have to make a decision which way they're going to go there, which way they're going to go with goaltender. You can't have these dark clouds hanging over.
Who would ever thought having two good goalies was going to be such a curse? I never. Wow. Patrick Waugh. What do you think of him being the head coach?
Patty Waugh. He is kind of St. Patrick in Denver. Brought the cup
and
there.
Montreal. They love him. Quebec, the whole province.
They It seems like the Avalanche are trying to relive their glory days.
I know.
You've now got
Sakic.
You've got Sakic in the front office. You've got Waugh behind the bench. Apparently, what's next? Is Forsberg going to come back as public relations director?
Sounds like the Mariners were for a while, that they were talking about bringing Joey Cora back to be their manager. Remember that?
Oh.
It's kind of like you cannot relive your glory days, and your
gotta
players.
let the past go.
If they're great players, it doesn't make them great coaches. I think Waugh will be.
He's been in the juniors.
He'll be interesting.
He's been in the juniors for quite some time. Had success there. Will that translate to the NHL?
That's the question. It always is.
I don't know.
Greatest goalie in history. Good luck, Patty. With that, we'll be right back with Jamie Huscroft.
Still loose. 11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Okay, and we're back, everybody. I wanted to welcome our next guest here, Jamie Huscroft, who is a former NHLer and currently the Snow King Hockey Association's operations manager. He is over at Castle Ice. Jamie, welcome to the show tonight. I want to thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to join us.
Well, thanks for inviting me, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Jamie, you're now over at Snow King Hockey Association up at Castle Ice in Renton. Tell us a little bit about the work you're doing up there and, some of the programs you guys have going over there.
Oh, well, in a nutshell, I guess we have Snow King Hockey Association is a non-for-profit association. It's been around for for many years. Anyways, I run the arenas, so we have Kirkland Ice Arena up in Kirkland, obviously, and we have the Castle Ice Arena down in Renton, and I spent probably half my time in each arena and just strictly operations. And thank goodness I don't have to spend a lot of time with the hockey department because it is a tough, thankless job. My buddy Doug Curtin runs that. But anyways, I've been there, almost 10 years now, and love my job, and I get to see a lot of good people, and I just kind of take care of the employees and the operations part of the business.
Great.
So it's great. I love it, and I'm very blessed, and I get to spend some time on the ice too with these camps and clinics and some adult camps. Like the hockey season will run from kind of September through March, and then April through August was kind of when we step it up and we put on our own camps and clinics for kids, through adults, through beginner, all the way till some pretty high-end skating. So we kind of do it all. But it's good. That's the fun part of the job. And you step out of your office at 4 or 5 o'clock, and you can hop onto the ice and spend some time with some kids, people that really want to be out there and learn. And it's a good thing, guys.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. So you played for the Phoenix Coyotes for a while. What was your take on that franchise actually, and how it was run back when you were there? Did you see any troubles in the future like we're having now on the horizon at that point, or was it pretty much still you guys were in the honeymoon period with that franchise?
It was still a honeymoon period. I mean, it was all a big golfing blur for me because that was the blockbuster deal from Brian Burke with the Canucks to Phoenix. I got traded for $1, and
oh God.
that was Anyways, so once I got down there, I mean, I only played like 10 games until these two defensemen got off the IR. Once they came off the IR, I mean, I knew Bobby Smith was a GM down there, and he knew what he was getting, and I knew that I'd only be there, or I'd only play until these guys were healthy. And it hurts, but it doesn't hurt so bad when you're out there at 1 o'clock every afternoon golfing.
Yeah.
But they were in great. They were in great shape. We had a good team. I mean, we had Keith Kachuk and Jeremy Roenick, Rick Nikolai Habibul, and Jim Schoenfeld for the coach, John Tortorella for an assistant coach. It just, I mean, we had a lot of veterans on that team, but it was very well run, and we were downtown. It seemed like it was sold out for the most part every night. But I was only there for maybe 3 months, and then I signed with Washington Capitals the next year. Unfortunately, I would love to go back to the sun and shorts and but that just didn't happen. So
you played in a couple of those sun and short teams. You were with Tampa Bay for a while. What was it like down there?
I love Tampa Bay. Same thing. But the only thing with Tampa was when I was there, we were rock bottom. I mean, Phoenix, we were a playoff team. I mean, we were probably let's say a third or fourth place team when we were there. But with Tampa, unfortunately, we were an eighth place team only because if there was 15 teams, I mean, we would have been 15th. We probably went through 2 stretches of over 12 games, 10 or 12 game losses in a row, more than once. So a couple of coaching changes the year I was there. So it was hard. It was a beautiful place to live and to raise your family, but it was just hard to go to the rink every day knowing that you're going to lose. And it wasn't a matter of if you're going to lose, it was by how much.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but we had Terry Crisper coach, and then they fired him and brought in Jacques Demers, who was equally qualified, a great coach and great person. But I don't care who you can have Scotty Bowman in that team, and we wouldn't have won. So wouldn't have done any worse or any better. So it was just one of those things. A lot of injuries, but a wonderful place to play.
You mentioned Brian Burke in the trade. You were there. Were you there at that point where Keenan and Messier were there cleaning house, basically, in Vancouver?
Yes, I was there at the kind of the back end of that. So they got rid of Trev by then. I'm sorry, they traded Trevor Linden at that time. So now
got rid of is a better term for anybody who knows what's
exactly. And that was I wasn't part of that. I didn't see it. I heard a little bit of it. But honestly, I didn't see anything when I was there other than a very professional Mike Keenan, and I didn't see anything that that proved otherwise. But I did hear some tidbits here and there of some things that weren't were a little bit cruel, but like I say, I didn't see anything. I got along with him great, and he treated all the players with nothing but respect. And so to this day, I really like the guy.
Well, Jamie, you've had quite the career. You were with several franchises over your career in the NHL. Do you have any favorite memories that maybe stand out? Memorable games or accomplishments that you're particularly proud of, or maybe not proud of your time in the NHL?
Well, I mean, to say I played on a few teams is an understatement. I don't know how many teams I didn't play for. The kids thought the moving van was a school bus there for a little while. but I mean, I liked them all. I mean, it got better as the years went on. Like New Jersey was tough just because it was you're up and down in the minors. I mean, I have a lot of games in the minors also, and then most of those were with New Jersey, so it was up and down all the time. It's hard on my wife and I, but you're young and you didn't seem to care at the time. But once we went to Boston, which was year 6, 7, and 8 in my career, that was a lot of fun. I spent a year in the minors in Providence, and then went up to Boston the next 2 years and absolutely loved it. To this day, it's my favorite team and favorite city, and good people, and with Cam Neely and Ray Bork and Adam Oates, and just a wonderful group of guys. So that was probably the best. And then I went out to Calgary, which was a wonderful city to play in, very well run, great management with Alex Oates and Pierre Paget and Guy Lapointe, and it was fun every day. Theo everybody was very equal and just more of a family.
Now I gotta imagine the weather in the winter between Calgary and say either Phoenix or Tampa was just a little bit different.
Well, I got traded. I was in Calgary, and things were good. I mean, I think what it was I was entering the end of my contract. So, and I did my own contract. So I went up to Alco's, pulled me in his office and said, "Hey, we'd like to sign you for, another year or two, an extension." I said, "Great." And I give him a number, and he looked at me and he said, "Canadian?" And I said, "No, it's got to be American." The dollar, the Canadian dollar was devalued, and he said, "Well," he says, "it's not going to work then." And I said, "No, that's no hard feelings. I totally understand." So he traded me within a week to Tampa Bay, and I was so happy because it was probably minus 20, and I got off the plane, it was 80 degrees. So it was nice. And it's hard to imagine going into a rink every day with t-shirt and sandals, and I'm not kidding. I mean, everybody wore sandals, and but yeah, it's if you can have a winning team in one of those cities, it just doesn't get better than that. It's hard to explain how much fun it is. It's almost not even fair.
So with the when you played in the Western Hockey League, you were mentioning Theo Fleury earlier. You ended up being a teammate of this guy? Did you run into a lot of guys? I mean, of course you did, but what was it like playing as a teammate of a guy like you just even getting traded in the NHL, going to a different team? Do you guys have an alumni thing with the Western Hockey League, or kind of like?
We don't. Not with we don't with the Western Hockey League, but like Theo. I mean, he used to spit on me. I mean, he was a little bird when he played, but I played with him. Yeah, he was with Western Hockey League. He was with Swift
Current Bronco. Yep.
Yeah, and he was he was a little, I can't say it, a little bugger, and you hated him, but he played hard every night, and yet you play on his team and you absolutely love him. I had a guy, he played for Portland. I was Medicine Hat at the end of my career. The year we won the Memorial Cup in Medicine Hat, and Dan Woodley, two-handed me across the face with a stick and got me about 40 stitches across the chin. And 6 months later, we were playing together in the International League. All of a sudden I was just like, I wonder how I didn't know how it was going to go, but after the first, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome aboard," you forget it even happens.
Forgive and forget.
You do. You really do, and you're a team now, and you can't further yourself unless you further the team. So you can't hold a grudge with with you trying to beat up your line mate. So anyways, you just don't even worry about it, and it's just it's a jersey you're playing against. It's not really in person.
Exactly.
So
when you played with Glenn Goodall in Seattle, that was kind of like the glory days, I guess, of Thunderbirds hockey.
Yep.
The crowds were huge. I mean, what is your thoughts about the NHL in this market? What do you think it will? Do you think it could be like that again, or even bigger?
I really think with the proximity of Seattle, Seattle and Vancouver, there's so being a person from British Columbia, a resident, and playing for the Canucks, and living so close to them, and there's so many Canuck fans here. I really think that if we had a team here, you would get a lot of people coming south or heading south and taking advantage of probably a cheaper ticket and also a good team, especially if it's like a Phoenix or a team that gets bought and moved here. I think it'd just be wonderful. It'd be a little bit hard to take for me, to be honest, to watch an expansion team, but it's either way. I think beggars can't be choosy. But I do think it'll do well, and I have to be a little selfish
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rink. We've got 2 rinks now, 3 ice surfaces with the 2 rinks, and it's really it's just almost impossible to try to find ice in the winter months.
Mm-hmm.
Teams are begging, doing anything they can, but to try to get some ice slots, but you just can't. We're sold out till about 12:30 in the morning, so we're 5:30 a.m.
Wow.
30 a.m. So there's not many. You can get NHLs, and then you're probably going to be open till 2 o'clock in the morning.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
Jamie, a question I have is, you kind of brought up the point of a team moving. With the new alignment that we've seen with the NHL, it looks like they've allowed themselves 2 options, either to possibly move those Florida teams that they've put out on an island by themselves, or possibly expand with an additional 2 teams on the West Coast. Do you see a scenario where one is preference to the other, or at this point we just take a team regardless of how it comes?
Guys, I am I'd be grasping, and if I pick one of those, and tried to pick, I have no idea. And now, every time you try to think you're right, or as
Oh yeah.
as soon as you think, you do an interview and you're thinking, baseball, or basketball's coming, and hockey's right behind it, and then boom,
Yep.
they do something.
Yeah, they kind of pulled the rug out from under us, didn't they?
We learned that one the hard way.
Yeah.
To be, honest here, you'd love a relocation, obviously, existing team to come in here and just not skip a beat. But you know what? If we aren't fortunate enough to get that, then heck, if you want to put an expansion team in there, then whatever it takes.
Like you said earlier, beggars can be choosers.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
So, Jamie, you've spent some time behind the bench in the WHL. Any aspirations of going back behind there and, kind of getting yourself bloody behind the bench again?
Well, bloody, yeah. It's a little bit different. The Western Hockey League. It's it's a great feeder program for the National Hockey League, and they produce some great talent, as you know. With you look at right down south of us with Seth Jones, will be the number 1 pick, or probably the number 1 pick overall.
Mm-hmm.
Portland's got great players. You look at Seattle this year; they're picking up this Barzell kid.
Yeah.
He'll play for them next year. Arguably probably the best player that I've ever seen.
Wow.
As a 15-year-old, I watched him last training camp, and I don't say this very often, but I've never seen anybody like that before. So
I've actually been hearing that a lot too, like a lot of the comments from Canadian media and whatnot, and just from what videos you can find on him on the web. This kid, he's unbelievably good for that age. It's sickening almost.
You know what? He reminds me of Goody, or of Glenn, when he played, but just a little bit. Glenn was a little faster, and this kid seems to be. It's like, I can't use this, but it's like comparing a Lemieux to a Gretzky or something like that.
Okay.
Just so good, but they're just different. And but this Barzell kid, you could ask me who was on defense. I want you to scout his defenseman. I probably couldn't, because you couldn't take your eyes off of him. And he was the youngest kid out there. And I've been in that situation before, and at 16, which would have been a year older than him at the time, when I was in the Western Hockey League, you couldn't find me, Hockey News couldn't find me. I was so far down at the end of the bench. So, this kid was the best player out there. So I really think that it's great for the T-Birds, because if that doesn't sell tickets, not doing well.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've got my attention. So it's to get back to coaching, though. It's what an honor to be able to coach, or anything. Maybe it's where the alumni, or the media or of some sort. But anything with an NHL team would be, would be interesting.
Well, I don't know if you heard the news today, but Vancouver's in need of a new coach, I hear.
Yeah, a good coach. Yeah, that's too bad, though. You get hired to get fired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast.
He did a great job. He was wonderful. Could another person have changed the outcome? Probably not. But it's just one of those things. Someone's got to go, and
Exactly.
you're paying. You got salaries. Those big salaries. They're not going to send the big boys home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every new coach is your next ex, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why you rent and don't buy and lease the car and rent the boat. It's not rocket science, boys.
Yep. So, Jamie, tell me about some of the local resources that you guys have with Snow King Hockey. I know just in our personal conversations, some of the Learn to Play programs, the adult programs. Just kind of give us an overview on what you guys do over there and how folks can get involved either with themselves or their kids. And, we want to do our part here with the Met Hockey Report to boost those numbers, get kids in the program, and we'd love to see a nice, robust hockey association over there.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to kind of, a little shout out there. So, we have all kinds of programs, and if you're looking at the beginner level, at adult or kids, the adult clinics, myself and this another NHL guy, his name's Jim McTaggart, just a wonderful person. The two of us run two different adult beginner learn to play clinics each year. And if you just Google hockey educational systems, you can read all about us. And then if you are a kid, a youth, anywhere from 4 years old, probably till 12 or 13, if you're looking to get in and you want to try it, just look up Snow King Hockey Association, and you'll see it's called Give Hockey a Try for free.
Okay,
and
that's cool.
But 1 month, we'll just get you suited up with just the basic equipment, get you helmet, gloves, stick, and some skates. And we designate an hour or so of ice, have some volunteers and coaches go out there and help you. And you can bring yourself or your kids or kind of anybody, whoever wants to go out there, and we let you try it. And if you like it, then you can sign up for it's just a once-a-week thing where we get you the equipment and everything, and you go out there, the kids go out there and they skate around, and it's just a great program.
That sounds awesome. I wish they had it when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. So they can, the beginner programs, we have a Hockey 1 and a Hockey 2, and the Hockey 1 was we just, once again, the kids get the basic equipment, and they go out there, and they take it's like a six-week course, and then if you like it, then you sign up for Hockey 2, which is, we call the beginners, and
Okay.
then that one runs for about 5 to 6 months. And anyways, it's just really low-key and great coaching. The Dan Murphy that runs it right now is a professional. He played for the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's the beginner coach right now, and he just does a great job. So it's fun. If you go to Snow King Hockey Association and look up New to Hockey, it'll explain it, or Google Hockey Educational Systems, and you'll see all the adult information there too. So, and we have other adult classes too. If you look at our websites and just click on hockey camps, there's a bunch of information there.
For those viewers that want to check it out, what's that website, Jamie?
It's hockey educational. It's I couldn't even. We had to do it. Just Google Hockey Educational Systems.
Okay.
You'll find it. The other one is Snow King Amateur Hockey Association.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great.
Jamie, thank you for your time today, and
Well,
we
thank you,
will be right back.
We'll be right back. Thanks.
Still seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Okay, and we're back. Joining us now via the phone is Chris Brannon, also known to those of us who have seen him here, there, everywhere as the Sonics guy. Chris, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? It's going great over here.
Great. Where are you at tonight?
Just chilling at the crib. Went to, where did I go today? I went to, just went to a park opening, a rededication of a park, hung around sporting the green and gold. But other than that, kind of a quiet evening, only one event.
Right on. So for those of you who don't know or haven't had the opportunity to meet the Sonics guy yet, he is that larger-than-life character, sporting the green and gold everywhere he goes, carrying the Sonics message out to anybody and everybody that will listen. So, Chris, give us some background. What's your involvement with the whole Sonics process, and where can we find you, and give us a lowdown on you.
Well, I started the process. Before the team even left, I was involved with Save Our Sonics. Brian Robinson, who's now a good friend of mine, he was one of the co-founders of that organization. And I went to all the rallies and, not the march, but the meeting at the Capitol, talked to my state legislators, did all the action items. And, unfortunately, it just, at the time, it wasn't enough. And it was just frustrating to me that, we worked our hearts out and we weren't able to keep our team. So from that, after a proper mourning period, I basically about 8 months after the team had left, I started attending events representing the green and gold so people would know that the team was still cared about and people actually missed the team.
So how did we go from Chris Brannon, the guy going to rallies, to Sonics guy?
Well, when after the last game, I had this idea where I would kind of grow out my hair. I had the visions of being a great poker player, so I thought, well, I'll have this big afro, so at least I'll get noticed, when I'm on TV. And that didn't happen, but the one thing that did happen is after growing the afro and going to events, I got noticed for supporting the green and gold. I was just, honestly, I was just really ticked when they had the joint press conferences when the team left, and Clay Bennett was like, we did it, and Barry Nichols was laughing and joking around, and and the team I had was lost, so I was frustrated about that. So that's why I started doing my own thing, and since then, the first event I went to, I was actually a tax day Tea Party rally at the state capitol steps. And I just had my own protest there. I was rocking the green and gold, had my Save Our Sonic signs, got a few mentions on radio and media, and the rest is kind of history. It's like 1,500 events later, here we are.
1,500 events, eh?
Well, give or take. It's probably around 1,400, but some days it's none. A lot of days it's one, possibly two, but the Saturdays is where I double, triple, quintuple up, sometimes 7, 8 events. Wow. But now, delivering that message.
That is some definite dedication, man. We appreciate seeing such a vocal person out there. Last week had to be a pretty tough day for you and the rest of the guys waiting for the green and gold to come back. I know as a hockey fan, I was devastated because I just know that the NHL is not coming until the NBA gets here. So for me as a hockey guy, it was terrible. For you as somebody who has kind of poured your heart into this, just kind of tell us, what was, what that meant to you and kind of where we go from here.
Well, I kind of knew the jig was probably up when it was the week before. It was voted 7-0, even though some people say it was 4-3 before the screws returned. about relocation. They voted to stay in Sacktown. So the vote, I was optimistic, but that's what I've been for a long time now. But unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But that night, I hung out with some fellow Sonics fans, and I said I kind of just had a little event at a little local bar around here, O'Malley's, on 6th Ave in Tacoma, just to get together of some Sonics faithful. And I said, well, we'll have the event either way. So, it was either going to be celebratory or compensatory, but we had fun and fellowship, and talked about where to go from here. And the new rally cry is expansion now, delayed but not denied.
Exactly.
And I think Chris Hansen, with his dedication, it's a matter of when and not if. I mean, the thing is, when I started going out I've been doing it now. The Sonics left probably about almost 1,800 days ago.
Okay.
And I've been doing this around 1,500 days now.
Long before Chris Hansen, or there was an arena in
So it's
sight.
like one of those things. When I first started, I mean, people were kind of upset. They were like, they're gone, or they were just because the way when the team left, the way it kind of Bennett had kind of that last season kind of had done everything he could to get the city to kind of turn against the team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of the slash and burn, and he was trying to get it so the city wouldn't support the team, basically.
Sure.
And so that left a sour taste in people's mouth. And what happened is like when I first started, people were almost hostile to me in some respects. But we've come so far, and now everybody is on board, and everybody, 99, all the interaction I get now is positive. I mean, it's amazing how, just commitment, positivity, and success can churn things. And so it's, we're closer than we were a year ago. We're closer than we were 2 years ago.
Exactly.
I mean, every step we're getting closer. So it's one of those things, delayed but not denied, expansion now. That's my 2 new rallying cries. I got to make some new signs, actually.
Okay.
So you basically kept the fires burning. What would you say to the hockey fans that basically have been burning the fires forever in this town and want a team?
Well, I tell them to keep their head up and keep fighting and support Sonics Arena, support Chris Hansen, because like you said, Todd, and also Mark, to have hockey, to have that new arena, we've got to have basketball.
Exactly.
I'm approached probably now 15, 20 times a day at least, and usually at least one of those people, or maybe 2 of those people, it's probably about 5 to 10% of the people that come up to me, really, they're like, well, I'm not for basketball, but I'm for hockey, so I support you and I support the movement, which, makes me feel good, because ultimately, whatever your primary sports, whatever you're primarily a sports fan of, I mean, I support all Seattle teams, so I would love to have hockey, I'd love to have basketball, but it's like we're stronger together. I mean,
there's room enough for everyone.
go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, there's room enough for everyone to get their share.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if we get hockey and basketball, I mean, every day we'd be able to go to an event. It would just be Seattle would be big time again.
Yeah.
It would just be great. It would be great for the Seattle sports fan.
What's your favorite Sonics memory? What do you remember the most about that team?
Well, I remember as a little kid, I remember winning the championship, watching Gus Williams throw the ball at the end. He was, and he's still my favorite player. I mean, I love a lot of them, but just that championship team. I mean, I know the Metropolitans won in 17, but I mean, it's our only men's championship that people were, alive
for.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
Remember.
So, Chris, the question becomes, what's next? You've got the new rallying cry. What can we do as hockey fans, I guess, to help carry this message forward and get involved? Is there a place where our fans can find you and the events that you're going to? Is there a way they can come out and support you and help carry that message to the public?
Well, I'd say they can follow me at Sonics Guy on Twitter, or Sonics Guy on one word on Twitter at Sonics Guy, and on Facebook 2 words Sonics Guy. I got a fan page set up, so I'm pretty easy to find. I'd also tell them to follow the developments at Sonic's Arena, because that arena is also going to be a hockey arena. So follow Sonic's Arena. If Chris Hansen says to do anything like an action plan, even though he hasn't done that lately, just follow it, because, basketball is going to beget hockey. It's just
Yep.
when you're talking to your fellow hockey fans and fellow friends that know you like hockey, just say you support the arena and you support Chris Hansen. That's what I tell them to say.
Right on. Well, Chris, I want to thank you again for taking time out to talk with us tonight. Again, folks, this is Chris Brandon, the Sonics guy. Feel free to check him out on Twitter and on Facebook, and we'll be back right after this. Thanks.
Still loose, 11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
And we are back.
What's up now?
Always posting questions, aren't we?
We are.
Asking people to, call us up or, Facebook us up, whatever you want to call it.
We're not that technically
No,
advanced
we're
yet.
not yet. We just are.
We're working on it. Baby steps.
We
Baby
might get
steps.
a Betamax up in here one day. It's awesome.
Woo-wee.
Otto
Weird.
Rogers on Facebook asked us what's going on with the Yotes. Would have thought they were going to be in Quebec City. Gives me hope that the NHL wants the Yotes in Seattle.
I think NHL, if they were given their druthers, I think they would like. I think they would like them here. I think
agree.
they wanted to save Quebec for expansion because the Canadians have deeper pockets when it comes to hockey.
Mm-hmm.
They're
They could
more
go $500 million for a team.
Well, they
easily,
would.
both of them.
They get a higher expansion fee up there, and it's a traditional hockey market. They're going to watch it and support it much better in a expansion capacity than they would here in Seattle.
I think they're not in Quebec City right now, personally, Otto, because they just don't announce it yet. I think they're going to give them a little bit more time, but it's going to be July-ish. If this comes to a decision, it'll be July-ish.
Yeah,
if not,
and
it's going to be either or. They're going to be in Quebec City or Phoenix, and I think basically if they're in Phoenix, it's one last season.
Well, and I think
that would give us a chance.
It would give us a chance. I think you're going to see some pretty quick movement now that this arena process is kind of put to bed for now, or put on hold at least.
Basically, they were waiting on us. Now they can. I mean, Quebec's arena has already broken ground, so they're underway, obviously. So they're
our
ready
friend
to go.
John Barr today had a article on his page that John spoke with us about that. There was an article came out in Quebec today about talks heating up pretty dramatically between the NHL and
I would have thought
and Quebecor. So
what happened with the Winnipeg Jets was the Coyotes almost went there, and the NHL right away steered the Thrashers to that. That Thrashers team has moved like that. If you want to go, I mean, the NBA with their relocations, but a snail's pace. I mean with that Thrashers move, they were gone. Like nobody had time in Atlanta to even realize they were going to go. I think that's how the Coyotes move is going to go. If they go to Quebec, it'll be fast and furious. It'll be over quickly.
yeah, we'll blink and it'll happen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Go Pens was a comment by Mark Hindy. I think that's because of your North Stars. Yeah, you even brought up the North Stars thing.
Yeah, I saw the poke. Mark, Mark, you and I might just have to drop the gloves and go. Maybe we'll have a celebrity.
Stanley Cup champs, 91, 92. That was the North Stars one, wasn't it? Stanley Cup.
Maybe we ought to set this up as a charity event. Get those sumo fat suits and
you and him will go at it.
Yeah, we'll although I don't know that I need the fat suit. I've got plenty of girth already. Ryan Minkoff wanted us to talk about the University of Washington ice hockey. Ryan, I'm going to officially procrastinate and put you off. I am working for a future episode to talk exactly about college hockey in the Pacific Northwest here. UW hockey, Wazoo hockey, and we have some of the others, some of the other schools that are in this
It's
area.
like that old TV show in the 50s, Queen for a Day, where the lady gets to do whatever she wants. Well, this is your, you get to be that when
I'm commissioner for the night.
See, you know, University of Washington hockey, you got it, you want it, you asked for it.
There you go.
You'll
There
get
you
it.
go.
Just not today.
Just not today. But we will bring you the Pac 8, which involves both UW, Wazoo, Oregon, some of the other schools on the West Coast here.
Matthew Ballantyne. Now that Sacramento Kings are not available, does Chris Hansen intend to follow through with talks with the NHL? No. It's like we've said it before, we'll say it again. This arena is basketball centric.
Yeah.
So if there's no basketball, there's no hockey.
Right.
So get on board, people.
Chris Hansen is a great guy, but he's not a hockey guy.
Exactly.
He's made that abundantly clear that he is basketball and only basketball. He wants and realizes the need for hockey to be here as a roommate to help pay the bills, to make all the numbers pencil out, but he is not willing to go out and buy an NHL franchise of his own. So, no, unfortunately, Matthew, we're kind of stuck in a holding pattern until the NBA rears its ugly head here.
Start rooting for the NBA to get here. I know there's a lot of people out there, like Chris said earlier, that say, screw the NBA, I want hockey. Well,
it doesn't work
the
that
NBA
way.
screwed us just as bad as they screwed any basketball fan last week. So, yeah, get on board with basketball because you're going to have to walk with them a little bit at least before you get a hockey team.
Yep. Adam Lav, thanks for the great comments. Hey, I don't think my wife would necessarily share the opinion that I'm that great, but I do appreciate the pat on the back.
You're the man, son.
I am the man. ECHL. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. I
don't want any minor league teams, honestly. I don't want AHL. I don't want ECHL. We're fine with the Thunderbirds right now until we get NHL. Minor leagues, Minor leagues are cool if you live in a major league city like Seattle where you have Tacoma. You can go, I got a choice. As your only choice when you're a major league city, it's not really that cool.
Well, and I think we have enough. We've got juniors programs all around us.
Yeah.
And I think that really it's kind of viewed by most people in the same vein, whether it's juniors, whether it's minors.
Yeah, people always say all the time the Western Hockey League is minor league hockey. No, it's junior hockey, but you know what? To everybody else, it's minor league hockey.
Right. And we've got 5 Washington, Oregon. We've got 5 WHL teams. We've got the Junior Totems.
Yeah,
we've got Wenatchee Wild.
Yeah.
So it's not like there isn't, kind of that level of hockey, or at least in lay people's terms, they kind of equate it to the same thing.
It's a little faster, but at the same point, it's not the NHL.
Right.
At least in juniors, you're watching guys who are going to have a future. A lot of these ECHL guys, you're going to see, that's all you're going to see them. You're never going to see them again.
They're going to be
more
also
likely.
Rams. They're going to be those guys that never will be, but...
the Reg Dunlops of the world. Scouts! They're scouts.
And there's nothing wrong with minor league hockey.
It's a good product, but it's just
not what we want.
It's not the real McCoy.
We want top notch.
It's a major league city. That's what it is
Exactly.
right here. We have major league dreams and major league thoughts. That's how we are. It's not one of those cities where you're gonna nobody attended games when the Pilots left because they'd gotten their taste. Nobody went to games before the Mariners. There were Rainiers games. They were single A, and nobody cared because you know what? It's like, we got baseball. So what?
Yeah.
We used to have the major leagues. You got your taste. People want the real thing.
Exactly.
On that note,
I think that's it. A little light on the questions this week, folks. Hey, if he wants to talk to you, you gotta tell us what you want.
Exactly, people.
Otherwise, you're stuck with my programming here. Couple of things of note I want to bring up here. Bar owners, restaurant owners, I want to reach out to you specifically and ask you to help promote the Metropolitan Hockey Report. We would like
help
to
promote hockey in Seattle.
Yeah,
Grassroots, baby. That's
What
how we
we're
roll.
asking is, if you've got an internet-capable TV in the bar there, put us on. Dial up our YouTube channel, put us on, and let us know about it. Let's try to get some folks down there.
We'll give you a shout out too. Yeah.
Exactly. We'll throw it out to our
You
followers.
scratch our back, we'll scratch yours.
Exactly. Sponsors. I want to thank my office. Stepped up to be a paying sponsor. Thank you. Thank you to Allstate for stepping forward and doing this for us. If you would also like to be a sponsor, it's very affordable. Would love to have you contact me.
And you could even have a cool Australian guy voice it over. I mean, that makes it sound sophisticated right there.
Anytime you have a worldwide viewing audience, you are stepping up. Lastly, connect with us. You can find us on Facebook at NHL Seattle. That's NHL Seattle. Or you can find us on Twitter at Met Hockey Report. That's at Met Hockey Report. Mark has his blog.
Northwest Coast Bias, that would be. And I'm not very biased lately because I've been really naughty. I'm sorry, people, about writing, or not writing in that case.
Yep.
Want
to thank our guests tonight, Chris Brannon, the Sonics guy, former NHL player Jamie Hughescroft. Look forward to having those guys on again. Mm-hmm. And, we really do have a pretty vibrant community here in the hockey world. We've got other NHLers in and around Seattle. We'd love to have them on.
Exactly.
Look forward to getting some of the WHL teams represented here. Some of the general managers have expressed interest in being a part of this program.
That would be very awesome.
We've spoken with the Thunderbirds, the Everett Silvertips, and gotten a good response from them. The Portland Winterhawks have also expressed some support for us. So hope to be bringing you those in future
so you're fans
episodes.
of those teams? Come on, give us a shout out. Watch.
Trying to get some East Side love from the Spokane and Tri-Cities teams. And, let us know what you like. Let us know what you want.
It's your show, people.
Not really, but we're trying to pander to you.
Channeling my inner Lee Hacksaw Hamilton.
There you go. I want to thank you for tuning in to our nonsense. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. Tell us what you want. I will try to deliver. And until next week, I'm going to give you a really corny catchphrase here. See how you like it. Tune in. Hop on that Zamboni and ride. Mark?
On that note, thanks for watching, and stay classy, San Diego.
11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This week's episode of the Metro Hockey Report was brought to you by Allstate. If you need auto, home, business, or life insurance, call Allstate. You're in good hands.